all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNI news video. Now I've got a lot I want to talk about today, but before we get into the news, I just want to get a quick update out there to you guys. So I am looking to take a little bit of a break from doing videos for about a week and a half to 2 weeks. I talked about this yesterday on my vlog video where I was talking about the NECA Ambassador Target program. But if you missed that, if you haven't subscribed to my personal vlog channel, then I just wanted to let you guys know here as well that I'm looking to take a little bit of time off from doing videos. It's kind of a stay vacation to recharge my batteries. I've been doing videos pretty non-straight for several months now, so I just feel like I kind of want to take a little bit of time off. Also, I've got some things behind the scenes that I need to get taken care of as well. I still will be making updates on the website. News will continue on the websites and everything, but just know that for about a week and a half to 2 weeks, you won't be seeing any new videos. Now, that being said, there's quite a few videos, and I don't know if it's the algorithm or if you guys are just tired of hearing from me or watching reviews or what have you, but I've got quite a few, especially review videos, that really have not been getting the kind of views that I would kind of hope, only averaging around 2,000 views. So, whether it's McFarlane Star Trek figures or DC Multiverse Aquaman figures or what have you. Actually, the single pack Aquaman figures I reviewed actually got really good views, but I just did a 2-pack review the other day, and that's just dangling around 2,000. So if you haven't, again, I don't know if it's the algorithm of YouTube or if it's just people are tired of watching me, but if you haven't maybe seen the videos popping up on a more regular basis, then maybe just go back and look over my channel and watch videos that you haven't seen over the next 2 weeks. But I will be back. I will definitely be back in about a week and a half to 2 weeks, doing more news videos and reviews. And then over on the vlog channel, I'll also be continuing to do videos there. Usually I do on the vlog channel about 2 videos a week. Okay, so now on to the news. So the first bit of news I wanted to talk to you guys about is it's a little bit of a mystery of whether this is actually real or not. And honestly, I can't say 100% either way. Right now, I'm leaning more towards it being fake, but again, I can't say 100%. And just to caution, this might be considered spoilerish for Avengers, the upcoming Avengers 4 movie. If it's fake, then it probably isn't, but just, I don't want to ruin anything for you. So if you don't want to see any kind of spoiler or even possible spoiler for the movie, you might want to fast forward the video a couple minutes. But anyway, this week it looked like something leaked out, our first look at an Avengers 4 toy from Hasbro. This looks like some kind of action figure 2-pack. Now, this comes from Comic Book News, so, again, I don't know how reliable they really are. In fact, they're not super reliable. They kind of just post everything, whether it's real or not. But it definitely looks like it's a real product. Now, I know basically what puts it, the things that people are saying and why it's fake is there's been some more clear images that have popped up online that definitely look like there's some Photoshop going on here. And then also like things like there's no title and such. It just says Avengers. But honestly, I mean, assuming this is real, assuming for 1 second this were real, this obviously would be something that leaked out. Now, we're pretty far off still from Avengers 4. We don't even know what the title is yet. But obviously not so far off that they aren't starting to make toys. And we did have just like a couple weeks ago, we just had the Dallas Toy Show, which is something that is not open to the press, but it is something where toy companies show off product to retailers. And so it's conceivable this was a mock-up packaging for the upcoming Avengers 4 line that they were showing off. It's something like that got leaked out, and doesn't even, Hasbro may not even be aware of what the title of the new movie is, which is why you don't see it featured on the packaging. So that's a possibility. And then obviously, because this would be going by obviously concept work that gets sent to the company and stuff so they can start making the toys, that would be a reason why this might be photoshopped. But again, it also could be just fake. That certainly, fans will make up stuff that looks pretty real, and then they'll stick it out there. And in this day and age of social media, where it's really kind of hard to tell what the original source is for anything anymore, who knows? So the main reason why I'm kind of leaning towards that this being fake is this image has been out there for a couple days now, and the fact that the fact that Disney or Hasbro hasn't made any attempt, as far as I know of, to pull it down, that to me is probably the biggest indication that it's fake. If it's fake, they're not going to bother to have it pulled, only if it were real. And I can tell you from personal experience that Disney gets pretty paranoid about this stuff, and so again, that's why I kind of feel my biggest reason for why I feel it's fake is because there doesn't seem to be any indication that this image is being pulled down from any of the sites that have posted about it. But nevertheless, it's kind of interesting. It features Thor and Rocket Raccoon. It is a two-pack. It's done up as a two-pack. And, again, you can see some concept artwork and everything there. They're wearing some kind of suits. People are initially calling it spacesuits. And, of course, a big question everyone then asks is, why does Thor need a spacesuit? I mean, we just saw him in the last movie where he's essentially, throwing a ship around in a star with no helmet even. So obviously Thor doesn't need a spacesuit to get around in outer space. But my theory would be, if this were real, and again, I don't know if it is, but if it were real, this is probably not a true spacesuit, but maybe like a quantum relay suit like we saw Hank Pym wearing at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp when he went into the quantum zone. Now, when Ant-Man went into the quantum zone, he was just wearing his Ant-Man suit, but we did see kind of a special suit. The Ghost was wearing a special suit as well that maybe shared some similar characteristics to these suits. So that might be what these are, not just traditional spacesuits, but suits that they're wearing to go into the quantum realm. If in fact that's something that actually happens in the movie, which honestly I don't know. I'm just speculating here. We can also see, if this were real, it looks like there would be a similar two-pack with Captain America, which also appears to be wearing a suit, also wearing a mask, and then Captain Marvel. So, like I said, I can't sit here and say definitively 100% because obviously, if it were real, nobody's going to admit to it being real at this stage anyway. And like I said, the biggest thing I have that makes me think it's fake is just that it hasn't been pulled from sites at this point. So, I mean, that could still change. I don't know, but again, right now, that's my biggest reason for thinking it's fake. But we'll know in a couple months when we start seeing, probably around February timeframe when Toy Fair happens. Hopefully, at least when that happens. Of course, last year it was funny because Avengers Infinity War product were actually starting to hit shelves during Toy Fair time, and Hasbro still wasn't able to show product of Avengers Infinity War at Toy Fair last year. So who knows? Maybe we won't see anything until just a few weeks before the movie. But obviously, as we get closer to the movie, I would expect real product to leak out, even if this is fake. But I just wanted to share it with you guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? If it's real, this isn't like a Marvel Legend. I think this would be more of like a basic figure two-pack, like they've been doing with the basic figures that have the less articulation. They're 6-inch, but they're actually a little bit shorter than Marvel Legends and such. So definitely this isn't like Marvel Legend figures, but if it were real, I would say these are basic figures that they would be doing. Okay, now moving on to other Marvel related news. This week, Mezco Toys released official images for their upcoming 112 Collective Cable figure. So we've seen this figure on display at a couple of different shows over the course of the past year, including just recently at New York Comic Con. But now we're getting the official information and images. The figure is currently up for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Megalopolis Toys, so you can go in and pre-order this figure, and it's going to be released. It's not due out for basically until July of next year, so we've got almost a year until the figure is going to be released, but it is currently up for pre-order. And the figure is going to come with 2 different head sculpts, it looks like, 2 different rifle type weapons. One of them is going to have removable magazines, and these are definitely futuristic looking cable-like weapons. And then Cable is going to have a light up eye effect as well, which is kind of cool. He's going to have multiple pairs of hands. He's going to have a pistol. He's going to have a knife. And then, of course, like all the Mezco 112 collective figures, he will also have a display stand. But I think his chest might light up as well. I think it's maybe his eye and his chest that light up, but it definitely has light up features with this. And when I saw it at the conventions, when I saw it at New York Comic Con, I think we first saw this figure earlier in the year at Toy Fair. I think that's when the figure first was shown. But every time I've seen it, it looks pretty good. He's wearing one of the more generic outfits that you see him. Does have the blue colors and stuff. Doesn't have the big giant shoulder pads like Rob Liefeld used to give him. So it's more of a modern look than a classic look, I would say. But again, overall, I think it looks pretty good. If you're a Cable fan, I think you'll definitely want to check this out. And again, the figure is currently up for pre-order. Okay, and then one final bit of Marvel news I wanted to share with you guys. Just this morning, Hot Toys released official images for their 12-inch Avengers Infinity War Winter Soldier, or as they're calling it, Bucky Barnes figure. And overall, I think this looks really good. I like the head sculpt. I think it looks just like the actor. So if the final version looks this good, I think they'll have done a pretty good job. Probably the best job of any company that we've seen, including Tomasi Nations with their S.H. Figuarts figure. He's going to come with that machine gun that we see him use at the end of Infinity War, the one that Rocket wanted to steal. He's going to have his mechanical arm, his new one, and then he's going to have multiple pairs of hands, a figure stand, and a knife. And then it says the figure is going to come with a disintegrating mechanical arm, which is yet to be revealed. I don't know exactly what that's supposed to be. Maybe, mimicking when he starts to turn into ash. That's the only thing I can think of. So we'll have to wait and see what that actually ends up looking like. That could be interesting, but I'm not really sure how they would pull off that effect with a physical action figure. But again, if anyone could do it, it'd probably be Hot Toys. So we'll just have to see how that turns out. Okay, now switching on to Star Wars. This week, Tomasi Nations released official images for their S.H. Figuarts Count Dooku figure from Revenge of the Sith. Now, we'd seen this figure at several conventions before, but now we're getting the official details and information. The figure is slated with an April 2019 release date, so early next year. And, overall, I think the figure looks good. Now, Tomasi Nations is the only company up until this point that has given us a 6-inch version or is giving us a 6-inch version of Dooku. I imagine Hasbro will get around to doing a Black Series version eventually. They did say at New York Comic Con that they would be doing more prequel figures for the Black Series line, and Dooku seems like a no-brainer. But as it is right now, Tomasi Nations is the only one that's officially announced that they're doing Dooku. And with these official images, we see he's going to have multiple pairs of hands. He's going to have the lightning shooting ability with one of the hands, which is cool. He's going to have two versions of his signature lightsaber. So he's got one with the blade out and then one without the blade that you can attach to his belt. The figure does come with a soft goods cape, which I don't think looks too bad on the figure. I like the head sculpt. He's going to have multiple facial expressions. And again, that figure is slated with an April 2019 release date. Also this week, Disney released official images for their upcoming toy box, or I should say it's hitting shelves now, so it's actually out now. But they've released official images for their Toybox Millennium Falcon with Han Solo and Chewbacca figures. So I talked a couple weeks ago about how they were expanding their toy box line, which is a Disney Store exclusive, to include vehicles. Now we can see here it's not truly in scale with the figures, but you can place one figure in the cockpit. You can't actually close the cockpit when you've got the figure in there. And then you could also place another figure in the midsection, so he's like near the gun. So again, the vehicle isn't really made to be in scale with the figures, but you can put the figures on the vehicle so they can ride around with it. It's kind of a cutesy thing. It kind of reminds me of stuff we see Funko do with their pop vinyl line. I don't know, how exciting I would really consider it, but if you're into the toy box figures, which are about 5-inch in scale and everything, then you might want to check this out. And again, it is available. I believe it's hitting physical stores, and it is available for order on their website. And again, this will be a Disney Store exclusive. One other update I wanted to give you on the Star Wars front is Hasbro has put a release date on their website for that overseas Black Series exclusive that is including the Hoth Han Solo with brown coat and the Hoth Princess Leia. So I talked about this a couple weeks ago. This is going to be their overseas Black Series exclusive. They're hitting up several overseas conventions, including the London Comic Con at the end of this month. That's probably the big one that they're doing overseas. And they'll be offering this Black Series exclusive 2-pack, which has the fancy packaging that looks like the hallway from the Hoth base in Empire Strikes Back. And this is listed on the Hasbro Toy Shop website right now. You can't purchase it, but it looks like it will go up for order on November 8th, 2018, mid-November. So you might want to, if you want to try, if you're here in the United States and you're not going to any of these international conventions, then you probably want to bookmark the website and be sure to check it. I don't have an exact time of when it'll be available, probably around noonish, but again, if you want to try and get your hands on that set, it looks like it will be made available to those of us here in the United States through the Hasbro Toy Shop in November 18th. For you Storm Collectibles Street Fighter fans, Storm Collectibles this week announced that they're doing an exclusive for the Shanghai Comic Con, which takes place October 26th through the 28th, and this will be their Chun-Li figure that wears the battle costume, the really muscular Chun-Li figure. They're doing it with a red dress, and again, that is going to be exclusive to the Shanghai Comic Con. Will be available at the BBICN booth, which is number 1A51. So if you have access to that convention, then you might want to swing by that booth and try and pick this one up. I don't know if this will be made available anyplace else, or those of us here in the United States. You know, it might be sold online eventually at places like Big Bad Toy Store, which have picked up a lot of the con exclusives for Storm Collectibles, but I don't have any specific details at this time on that. Okay, and then the final bit of information I wanted to share with you guys is this week, Tomasi Nations also released official images for their S.H. Figuarts Dragon Ball Evil Buu figure. So this one is going to have 3 different head sculpts. It's going to have a frown type head sculpt. It's going to have a smile or evil smile type head sculpt. And then it's going to have a yelling one. And then also the figure will have multiple pairs of hands. Now this figure, which is said to stand about 7.4 inches tall, went up for pre-order this week. It's got an April release date, April 2019 release date. The figure seems to be released in fairly limited capacity. It is quickly selling out. Places like Big Bad Toy Store are already sold out of the figure. So if you haven't already pre-ordered it by now, I'm not sure you'll be able to access it. You might have to resort to something like eBay. I haven't checked everywhere, but like I said, I do know it is selling out fast. Now the figure also is going to include an extra head sculpt and effect piece for the Fat Buu figure. So if you have that one, you'll get an extra head with this one, so you can, you know, basically add it, and it's got that little effect piece that you can attach to the tentacle of that new head sculpt. Okay, so that's it for this week. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I will be taking some time off. If you haven't been watching a lot of my review videos recently, please do over the course of the week and a half to 2 weeks that I'm taking the time off. I'd really appreciate it. You should also, if you haven't already, check out my personal vlog channel. It's not really related to this channel, but I do talk a lot about action figures. I don't do straight up news there or do reviews there, but I do, you know, it's basically a channel where I just talk about things that are on my mind. So if you haven't already checked out that channel, please do. I will put a link in the video description below to that as well. And until next time, guys, you know, please subscribe to this channel. Please like it. Please hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I do upload new videos. And of course, you can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts, the websites as well. We're going to be continuing to have contests over on the message boards on the website. So stay tuned for further details for the next contests. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later.